If you're a man, I have a question for you. I was having a debate with my manager earlier, but I need a guy's input on this, so I came to TikTok, obviously. This is the question. You as a guy, do you prefer to have a girl or date a girl or be with a girl that dresses up for Halloween in a more revealing costume because she's confident and she's like smoking hot or whatever? Or do you prefer to have a girl or be with a girl or date a girl that wears more of like a funny costume like the Lorax or like, I don't know, whatever like that? In my opinion, I think there's an obvious answer here, but I don't know. I'm not even going to tell you guys my input because that's just going to make you guys biased. But I need to prove my manager wrong, so tell me your guys' opinion, because if I'm correct, I don't know. What are you going to give me? A free cake? Nothing. She hates me. My manager said that if I'm right, we're going to print out a poster of my face and put it up on the wall. And I can choose whatever it says. So you guys better pick the right one, I swear to God.
Fun. Funny. Fun for sure. Funny costume. You have men in here that are saying, let her wear whatever she wants, but fun. Funny. Fun all the way. I want to say a funny costume. Fun for sure. Funny for sure. Funny. I'd say a funny costume. I have to have a girl that would match my humor. In my opinion, true confidence is being able to wear the fun costume. Funny times a million. Fun costume for sure. Funny. Not the Lorax though. That one's done. So yeah, I think they want somebody that doesn't have to reveal themselves. By and large, like I said, there's some men out there that don't really care about all that type of stuff. But a guy says a confident girl who's confident enough to know she doesn't need to wear revealing stuff and can wear funny costumes and just be herself.
Dating is trash right now because the men are not doing well financially. And this is being reported on, yes, but I'm also speaking from like in the field. In the last 2 years, majority of the guys that I've met on dating apps have all been unhappy in their career to some varying degree. I would say like the finance guys all have expressed wanting to be making more money. And the blue collar and blue collar adjacent guys have all sort of expressed feeling like they've hit some like max capacity in the amount of money that they can make in their industry or their field, and then wanting to do like a career pivot to correct for that, but then also suggesting like, well, let me go get a master's, and then incurring student loan debt on top of an already large amount of student loan debt, which personally I think is not a good idea. And then I just see it becoming this like vicious cycle. So like men are raised to believe that like they need to be the provider. And so if they're not where they want to be in their career, they're not where they want to be financially, then they don't feel that they can be providing. So they can't actually commit and settle down in a relationship, but they're still out there dating because they want the physical intimacy. Whereas women, like, we're in the dating field looking for a relationship, and most women are making as much, if not more, than their male counterparts today. So we're out there actively looking, but then, you know, the men aren't actually available for a relationship because they're not where they want to be in their career or financially. And so then the women experience rejection, and the more rejection we experience, the less we want to be actively in the dating pool. And so we take ourselves out. And how are we ever gonna like get together and procreate if like we're tapping out? And it's easy for women to tap out. I think a lot of us like find celibacy very peaceful. And so we bounce. But then like I'm out here, and it's like the more I feel rejection and the more I get discouraged, and I'm like, okay, like I'm really not meeting anybody who's on my level, or I'm not meeting somebody who's like a good match for me, the more I get into the mindset of like, well, I'm a single person with a single income household. Like I need to do whatever I can to like set myself up financially to live in this world as a single person. And so then I work really hard on having my finances in order. And the more that I've got my finances in order and I've got my shit together, harder it gets for me to find somebody who's on my level, because now I'm just like continuing to outpace the guys that are in my age range. And so it's becoming this like impossible loop that I don't know how to get out of, because I'm also not really willing to like lower my standards or accept like disrespect or just like weird behavior. Like I don't have time for that, nor do I care to like entertain that. So I don't know what the answer is. I'm not saying it's like the guy's fault that they're not making the amount of money that they want to be making, or that like the amount of money that one would feel is enough to feel comfortable getting into a relationship and like being able to be a provider. Although I think most people, doesn't matter your gender, like most people are willing to argue at this point that like you don't need to be the complete breadwinner or provider or whatever. Like it's a little bit more 50-50, but regardless, if that's how they feel, then that's how they feel. And that's what I'm seeing. I'm not just saying it because I'm like theorizing. Like this is what I am seeing in the guys that I'm meeting. And this is primarily on dating apps, but this is what's happening. And I don't know how we get out of it.
You know what I feel like? A lot of times, some of these modern women are playing with house money. With a man, you are required to provide financially. That is a requirement. That's not an option. So you out here making money and you can date. You can date because you don't have to provide anything. You don't have to have the finances. You don't have to have the skin in the game to even go on a date. Or why are you guys dating if this, and this? Y'all just want physical intimacy. Or we're looking for friends. Or we're looking for that person that might say, hey man, I'm making this amount. Why don't we pull our resources? Why don't we get together and why don't we build? Hey, you've got the vision, you got this, and let's go ahead and do it. Maybe that's what they're looking for. And mind you, some of these guys are making good money, or else you probably wouldn't have been on a date with them. Some of these guys are making good money, but they just want to do something else. They want to do more. I think that's what they call an ambitious man. I think that's what they call a man that's not lazy. I think that's what you're looking for. But here you are complaining about a man trying to do something. Well, you don't want to get into student loan debt. I get it. I understand it. But the fact is, I'm looking for something else in order to up my income. Y'all find ways to complain about everything.
Studies suggest that Gen Z men are becoming extremely conservative, or even reverting on feminism. As a millennial man who is foreigner, has the privilege of being able to observe the society he lives in as a foreigner, I believe I have a very good explanation of this. By being millennial, when it came to feminism, equality, and all of this, we were taught about it, we saw it in the media, we were exposed more to data and to history. But it was not a continuous bombardment. We were taught about this, we're seeing the trends that were improving. When we were taught about this in school, among friends and everything, it was more of a discourse, it was more of a goal to strive for, and that was it. Fast forward, I moved to America, I see social media coming up very strongly, I see the stuff that my brother is exposed to. The discourse went from, we need to create equality, we need to create equal opportunities, we need to give a chance to everybody, to literally, men are shit. The narrative went from, we have a problem that we need to fix, to, we have a problem, we need to fix it, and men are bad. I am exposed to this every single day. This is what American men are exposed to. Here's the thing, men, especially young boys, because that's Gen Z, don't have unlimited patience. If you keep on telling them that they're bad, what do you think is gonna happen? That they're gonna join you? No, they gotta go on the other side. I see all these people that are complaining about this current situation of Gen Z men. I also saw an article of how Gen Z women are dating now millennial men who tend to be more, let's say, moderate, relaxed, and understanding of these things. It's funny because you see now people saying, we need to talk to our kids, we need to do something about it. I think we just need to stop demonize these kids. Teach them the history, teach them the trends, without demonizing, because the moment you demonize, this is exactly what is happening. You cannot go against me on this, because you went with this strategy for the past 10 years, and this is the result. This is what a normally mature person does. You analyze the data, and then you say, this did not work out, perhaps let's change strategy. If we would demonize people a little bit less, if we would just promote equality of opportunity. Here's the most important one. If we would teach men today what it means to be a man today, which is something that nobody is teaching, because we still retain some of the old values. Now with a society where people are way more independent, as a man, you have to figure out your new role, which is also confusing to do. Maybe you won't have this switch from one side to the other, this huge discrepancy among Gen Z women and Gen Z men. The biggest privilege is the one of being an immigrant and being able to observe a society from the outside. You know, like when you have a toxic relationship and you don't see it, but your friends see it. That's me. I'm the friends that see everything from the outside, and it's beautiful.
Ladies, we need to stop hating on men. And when I say we, I mean y'all. I see so many conversations about men getting hated on by women all the time, and it needs to stop. Like, if we really want to come together as, you know, a society, this has to stop, because there are good men out there. And if you don't think there are good men out there, I think that says more about who you are and the men that you are attracting. So it's actually time to look within if you don't feel like you're attracting good men.
If you're my best friends who just made a reservation for 8:30 and told me 8, well played, because I just showed up at 8:22 and was like to the hostess, oh, like this table for 8 o'clock, and she was like, for 8:30? She was like, you're the first one here, and I was like, well played, well played.
Like, at what point as a grown-ass adult do you realize that you're disrespecting your friends? Because, like, thinking this is funny, like, girl, you were the only person that thinks this is funny. Oh, my friends told me 8:30 because they knew I was going to be astronomically late. Like, there are restaurants out there and their policy is everybody has to be there before you can be sat. Can you imagine somebody making 8 o'clock reservations for you and they have to wait around for 22 minutes because you're not there when you're supposed to be? Oh, but it's so funny. Well played, well played. You gotta grow up, girl. You got alarms on your phone? I know you're recording this on a smartphone. Set an alarm. Set 2 alarms. Set 12 alarms. This isn't funny. It's disrespectful. One day they're not going to invite you and you're gonna be like, I wonder why. Girl, it's because you don't respect them.
And imagine what men are going through. They'll tell modern women over and over again, well, I was only 5 minutes late, it'd be 20. Oh, I was only a minute late, it'd be 15. Oh, well, you're just gonna have to understand lives, and work comes up, and my family comes up, and I tripped on a curb and knocked out my tooth, and I had to go to the dentist for emergency surgery. Sorry, I'm an hour late. Just late. And then getting on TikTok. That's the other thing. Late. Can't handle the response. This is how modern women are today. Just late. Can't show up on time. Can't show up at all. Can't show up and be present. But they got, oh, send me a car. Oh, do this for me. Do that for me. I'm hoping that you would. No. And then they think it's funny. That's the point. They think it's funny that they're late and that their friend had to adjust the time and say, be there at 8, but it's actually for 8:30. Because I know that you're going to show up late over and over again. What are you doing?
There are a lot of men who, if you ask them, do you want a Rolls Royce or would you prefer a Honda? They would say, I want a Rolls Royce. But the thing is, even if they were to be gifted a Rolls Royce, they would not be able to maintain that vehicle. And the same is true for women. If you just give yourself to a low effort man, he will run you into the ground just like he would run that Rolls Royce into the ground.
Girlies, why are we still comparing ourselves to objects in 2025? I don't understand. Like, I get it. You want a provider man. You want a man that is going to take care of you. But don't make it seem like you can't maintain yourself unless you genuinely can't. And that in that case, you're just a broke bitch, and just say that. But don't put it out there like the rest of us, we need somebody to come along and maintain us. Otherwise, we're just going to sit at the dealership while somebody else. Like, what? Girl, bye. It's so tired. It's so annoying. The fact, like, is this what men talk about when they're like, the infantilization of women? Because this is the shit that y'all do. Stop. You are not something that needs to be maintained by some kind of outside entity. You are an adult. You are your own person. You should be able to maintain yourself. Now, if you want to wait till somebody else can maintain you in order for you to date anybody, feel free to do that. But I think you're going to be alone for quite some time. So you might as well get very comfortable at that dealership that you at, shawty, because chances are you ain't moving.
I just realized I'm going to be single for the rest of my goddamn life. What is wrong with y'all? Guys, I just went to the store to get some things to cook for me and my kiddos tonight. And it was this guy. He was driving this Corvette, this white Corvette. He told me he was a security guard for someone famous. So I'm like, okay. He asked me for my phone number. I'm like, I ain't trying to date nobody. But okay. First conversation. Ooh, I love your body. And look what the fuck I got on. I have literally on this. Like, what? What could you love about this? So, he say FaceTime me. I FaceTime him. He laying in the bed with his guy. I said, sir, I don't know you. Why are you whipping your shit out already, bro? I can't make this shit up. This is why I'm going to be single forever. This is why sometimes I feel like I just still be being crazy. But now I'm just realizing I might just have to be celibate. Because every time I turn around, all y'all men want to do is just get busy. I don't give off. I'm ready. I don't give that off. So why? I understand that is the ultimate goal here. To get busy with someone. But god damn it. Can we go on a few little dates? Can we get to know each other and see if I even like you like that? Like, what is really going on? Like, what's tea? Yeah, I'm gonna be single for a while. Yeah.
This sounds like a game that both of y'all are participating in. He mentioned that he was a security guard for somebody famous. You knew that. What you were probably hoping, and you're not saying it, is, if he's a security guard, I don't know, maybe I can get close to him. Maybe I can get close enough for him to introduce me to said celebrity, to famous person. I don't know. What is where? I mean, you stood up and I'm already noticing what he was talking about. What are you talking about? Oh, the first FaceTime call, and then he had his stuff out. If he approached you like that in the parking lot, why would you have given him your number? I don't get it. Y'all always tell the side of, well, look at what this man did. But y'all never tell the side of, well, this is what I was actually trying to get out of it. Wow, he should have never done that. And somebody said that to me the other day, and they were appalled that somebody would ever have done that to him. But then, by the same token, they're allowing somebody else to do it. And they're like, oh, yeah, I can definitely do that for you. But him, wow, I had to tell him, ooh, what are you doing? That's weird. Don't do that. Okay. Y'all are going to complain about stuff not happening the way that you want it to happen in the way that you want it to happen. But then, if it were, I guarantee if the celebrity did that, oh man, I can't wait to get over there, Big Daddy. I can't wait to see you tonight, Big Daddy. All right. You know, y'all are on the same wavelength as far as I'm concerned.
I really dislike the way y'all associate a woman's self-exploration with being a hoe. Like telling a woman that, she needs to have a hoe phase, I think is really outdated. And I've been seeing a lot of that with the whole Aisha Curry interview. Like I've seen a creator say, oh, this is the product of a woman not having a hoe phase. No, it's a product of a woman not having a self-exploration phase before sharing herself with somebody else. Unfortunately, a lot of women go through this, right? Because society tells women that our prime years are in our early 20s. Which, when you think about it, is like really crazy, right? To think that your prime years are when you're literally the most gullible, vulnerable, insecure version of yourself It's really kind of manipulative, but it's meant to be, right? Like, that's not just the patriarchy, that's the matrix in general. If you believe that 25 is old, you might hop into a marriage before you're ready. You might go to school for a degree you're not truly passionate about. You might give up on your dreams. And a lot of people do because of these weird ass societal standards. But for women, we're forced to believe that, hey, your 20s are your prime years, so you need to find a husband, lock it down. And then when you're 30 and you're 40 and that frontal lobe develops and you realize you're not who you are at 30 as who you were at 20, yeah, that is a lot. Like, just how a lot of women get married young or they're in committed relationships and regret it, a lot of women go through whole phases and also regret it. They regret it because that frontal lobe develops and they realize, damn, I did not have to have multiple partners to learn these lessons. The truth is, the only way to really protect yourself out here in these streets is to either A, be monogamous or to be celibate. And I think people don't like to admit that. They don't like to admit that being celibate would have saved them a lot of child support. Being monogamous would have saved them a lot of time. I think that the girls are always fed this lie like, oh, you need to be a hoe. No, the fuck you don't. You need to date yourself, actually. Men need to be the furthest thing from your mind. Also, a lot of y'all are not even real hoes. Like, I don't know who needs to hear this, but hoes get paid. They get paid. If you out here giving your time in Punani to anybody who's there, you're not a hoe. You're a goofy goober. Real hoes take trips. They take flights. I'll never forget I had a friend who was a hoe, but bitch, we in the house every damn weekend with this nigga. I'm playing, but if you're gonna be a hoe, at least get paid for it. This is a product of not being a hoe. Now, this is a product of a woman being tricked into submission. This is the product of a woman not taking the time to be able to discover herself and explore herself before having to share her entire identity with somebody else. Like, stop being stupid.
So I'm going to assume you're not saying that she needs to have a whole phase. She needs to explore herself. She needs to know who she is, know what she likes before she gets into a relationship. And I can agree with that. You don't, sometimes we tie ourselves to our significant other and our spouse, and we make them our entire personality. And I don't think that's healthy. But I do think that there is a way that you can explore who you are in a relationship, especially if you've got the time and you've got the money. I think if Aisha, rather than getting on these podcasts and talking crazy, if she would just have grandma or granddaddy come over, watch the kids for a few hours, I'm going to go get something done. And money's not an issue, right? Hey, here's some money to take the kids out if you want to. Hey, here's some money to order some food. Like, literally, order anything that you want. Hey, y'all want to watch a movie? Just order the movie. I mean, we have a theater in our house. We can bring the theater to us. Almost quite literally anything. We can do it. We got the money. You want them to play out in the backyard and have like a mini party? Call somebody, have Steph's assistant or somebody, set it up. But I'm going to go, I can't be gone too long because I'm a parent, but I want to go, talk to a therapist or, kind of hang out with the girls, go shopping, take a jog in the park. I mean, obviously you can't take a jog in the park, but, stuff that you can do to kind of clear your head, be creative in who you are, explore your talents, explore what you like to do, explore your hobbies. You have the resources and the ability to do that without having to have somebody else explore your body, have somebody else explore every inch of you that you're not going to marry. Too many women out here are suggesting that she just be promiscuous, she just be irresponsible, she just be out there letting any and every person have a little piece. And then you want somebody to come through, especially a millionaire, and say, yep, that's what I want. The fact of the matter is, Steph probably got with this woman because she wasn't out there doing all that stuff. And that's what I think a lot of men look for. A woman that's not out there going crazy, going berserk, going buck wild. I think another problem with some of these women who have been going buck wild is they're telling everybody that they're going buck wild. For some of you ladies, and I'm not condoning you doing that. I'm not condoning you going out there and just going crazy. But sometimes you just gotta shut up. Sometimes you just gotta be cool. No, I'm unapologetically me. Just shut up. Just stop talking, and you might actually get a man. Just change your ways, and you might actually get a man. Just stop talking about the past life and, oh, I used to be doing this and I used to do that. You ain't changed. And I don't like a woman like that. Nope. You don't like me because I've been with other men and I'm intimidating, and you need to be confident and secure in yourself. I am secure in myself. I'm secure enough to say that you don't know how to control your mouth. You don't know how to control your emotions. And when we have babies and when we try to get along and when we try to build a life together, you're going to go off and do your own thing. You're going to be undisciplined. That's what that tells me. I don't have time for that. You can go out and explore all you want to, but there's boundaries and limits. Respect should come into play.
I'm looking for a guy in corporate. 6 feet, long meat, dark skin, no kids. I said I'm looking for a guy in corporate.
A brother in the comments said, what about 5'9", a millionaire in trade stock with 3 kids? They not going to see you, Doc. They looking for Chad. They want Chad to knock them down and do them dirty. That's what they looking for.
I still do not love that Vogue article because I think it sits on tones of shame and hate. Say what you want, but there are tones of that in that article. So I think it's time we refer back to the ancient text, which is my Korean mother. My mom has never, ever given me advice about men unless it was solicited by me. Like, I partake in relationships with men, so I'll go to her for advice and then she'll respond. But unless that's the case, she won't come to me with direct input or advice about men. Her number one advice in her story to me my entire life has been to pick something in my life, whether it's a job, career, a passion. She tells me preferably something that will bring you financial security, but she will always tell me to pick something and to do it for a very long time. She's like, get married, don't have kids, have kids. Like, I don't care what you do, but no matter what, you must have something that brings you joy, that also preferably brings you financial security, and that you're able to do it for the rest of your life. I think my mother is like self-centered in the best way possible. Like, she's always been advocating for my personal life, my personal joy, my personal safety. Let's be honest, my mom did not have the best relationship with men growing up, but instead of passing down that sort of hate and that like shame she experienced, she did not pass that on to me. She passed on like empowerment and encouraging me to prioritize my life over anything else. And I think having grown up with that, it makes it very hard to look at this article as like profound or revelationary or empowering for women either. Like, I have to try really hard. Like, I have to squint very hard to think that this was an empowering article for women.
Like I said, man, some of you guys are making men your entire personality. You're making being in a relationship your entire personality because you want the aesthetic. You want the look of it. You don't want the work that's involved in it. So when you make this your work, your aesthetic, your obsession, that's not healthy. And so when that man disappoints you, oh, what I'm going to do now? What else would I do? You would work like a normal person. You would do what you were already doing and have hobbies. You go hang out with friends. Go talk to your mom. I don't know. Go shopping. Do something. But stop sitting up underneath my armpit all day long. A lot of these modern women don't have personalities. They don't even know who they are. And so when a man comes in, he knows who he is, and he's very clear about his boundaries and what he wants. Oh, well, that man's rude. No, I just know what I want, and I'm going after it. You don't care about me? No, I care about you, but I can't spend every waking moment. Just say that you hate me. I don't hate you. I just gotta go out here and make money. You should get a hobby too. Oh, man, having a boyfriend is a humiliation ritual. How? Because I said I had other things to do? And because I said I had other things to do? Because I said I had goals? Because I said I'm not gonna stop working towards those goals. You and I can have quality time. I still have quality time with you, but you decided that wasn't enough. So you broke up with me and you went to find somebody else and they did you wrong. And now you're trying to run back to me. Oh, it's embarrassing out here. You're embarrassing yourself because you're leaving a stable situation and going to find somebody else that you shouldn't be out there with. Period. End of story. Y'all need to get a life. Y'all need to get hobbies. Y'all need to get something to do. And y'all need to learn how to be good people. And it wouldn't be embarrassing. You need to stop listening to haters. And it wouldn't be embarrassing. You need to stop trying to figure out how to make a man more like you. And it wouldn't be embarrassing. You need to stop trying to figure out how to get on a man's bad side. And then when that man snaps on you, having a boyfriend is embarrassing. Y'all do a lot of stupid stuff and nobody checks you on it. Nobody holds you accountable for it because you're too wrapped up in doing the next dumb thing, planning to do the next dumb thing, planning to say the next dumb thing, and hoping and wishing a man would just understand how you are. No, I'm not going to be around somebody dumb. Stop doing that.
If it wasn't clear before, this entire page is literally hating on men, discussing the male species, studying, going on dates in the 21st century with people in their 20s. I'm a misandrist. So when a man that I am talking to, when he asks about like what I do and, you know, what it means when I say I create content and I have a Substack and do TikTok and whatever, I hate saying influencer and public figure. Like, that's weird to me. I don't put myself in that category. So, but you know what I mean? Like, I do create content and I do get paid for it. So I tell them, please don't look at my TikTok until we can have like a face-to-face discussion about it. Because like, you're going to get pissed off. That means I'm doing my job. You're not going to like what you see. And if you really did something crazy, then I probably talked about it. Did I disclose your name? Did I disclose your information? No, absolutely not. But did I talk about something that you said or something that you did that made me uncomfortable, that adheres to the content that I make? Absolutely. So when I say don't do that, and you go ahead and you take it upon yourself to find this page and shit on it and share it with your friends and discuss it, like, first of all, I'm doing my job, sounds like. Second of all, we're not going to work out because you did exactly something that I told you I was not comfortable with you doing. And also, you have every right to not like it. But also, like, I wish I could explain. You know what I mean? So, if you would like to make your own decisions, then I guess you can stay doing that. But don't involve me.
That lets me know to look at her TikTok and look and see what she's saying and say, are you talking reckless? Are you creating a balanced perspective? Are you saying, man, some of these guys that I've been in a relationship with, man, these guys are bums. Man, don't they, if a guy does this, and this, avoid him. Like, if this guy is just trying to get in your pants, avoid him. If this guy is trying to flash you money and, you know, you guys are not having a meaningful conversation and he's not trying to talk about, hey, this is what I want my family to look like. This is what I want the goals that I have set before me and my wife to look like. Hey, this is what I'm thinking for our long-term vision. If he's not talking about stuff like that, that's intentional, hey, you don't want to be around that guy. Get with the guy that you think is boring, but this guy is actually a stable guy. Get with the guy that you think, oh, he's too nice. Oh, this guy, he don't have he don't have any razzle dazzle to him. That man is going to create a lot of razzle dazzle in your life by making sure all your money is stable, all of your money is straight, all of your finances, your lifestyle, all of that is straight. That's going to be you're going to get happy. That's going to be your razzle dazzle. That's going to be your little cherry on top. Throw a little seasoning on it. Make sure that we're set up. I even opened up another account to make sure the kids are set for college. I even opened up another account over here to make sure our retirement is set. You know, we got money over here, but I want to make sure that we got a little rainy day fund over here for ourselves, or a vacation fund. That's the razzle dazzle you're looking for. Y'all looking to be held over a balcony while a man is knocking the sonic rings out you. That's what y'all are looking to do. Dangerous activity. Seriously dangerous activity. scares me to even think about. That's what y'all are looking for. Crazy work. And then when y'all talk about men and talking crazy, then you, hey, don't look at hey, we need to have a face-to-face conversation so I can explain the stupid stuff that I've been talking about. Well, you've been purely, if there was a balance on your page where you're like, well, I can see why some men say X, Y, and Z. Right? Okay. Even if your stuff is slanted towards women, because I get it, I understand it. At some point in time, you say, hey, I gotta agree with the fellas on this one. Some ladies, sometimes we gotta get it together. Sometimes we ain't all we say we are. We gotta get it together. If you would say that, then men would start to accept that. Be like, oh, okay, well, yeah, we can do some crazy stuff sometimes. We gotta correct that. We gotta fix that. But it's always men are this. That's why they're lonely. They suck at life. I'll never need them. Just over and over again. And if a man sees, well, dang, she don't need me. I suck at life. She must. Oh, no. It's not all men. Not you. You're too beautiful to be that. I'm telling y'all, man, just shut up talking. Just stop talking.
I'm sitting here procrastinating from grading, thinking about a couple of conversations I've had over the last few weeks with different groups of students that I want to share here. I've been hesitant because it's about dating, which is not a topic I'm an expert on. I'm a college professor. I try and help people be successful in college, and I do think relationships are a big part of that. That said, I've been married for 25 years and have no idea what it's like to date today or any time in the recent future. So take it all with a huge grain of salt. I just think I'm going to share this set of conversations that I've heard. So first conversation was with a group of young women, and one of them was sharing that she was waiting for someone to ask her out that she had been talking to for a while. And she was growing impatient and wondering and, doing the things we do. And I said, well, why don't you just initiate the conversation? If you've been talking for a while and you both like each other, can't you just be the one that says like, hey, should we make this official? And all of the young women were outraged by that and told me that young men would dislike this. They were all heterosexual, although I imagine this applies in all types of relationships. But again, I'm not an expert. And so they basically said we were afraid to be the ones to ask. And guys wouldn't like that. And I said, okay, don't know anything. Old married lady. Then yesterday in my office hours, slowly all the women disappeared for various reasons. And I was with a group of guys. And one of them made a joke about being single well into their 30s. And I pressed them on it. And I said, you all are always telling me you think that none of the young women want to date you. And all of the young women are always telling me that none of the young men want to be in a relationship. And I kind of think that no one is understanding each other. And so I said, what would you think if a girl you were talking to asked you out or suggested you go grab dinner or whatever? And they all agreed that they would love it. And so, this was maybe not a representative group of guys. And of course, what they tell me is maybe not how they act out in the world. But it just seems to me, because I talk to a ton of young people all the time. I always joke about spending my days with 19 and 20-year-olds. And so I sort of hear both sides of this. And so again, I don't really know if I have advice other than to maybe encourage you to take the risk once in a while. I asked the guys about this, and I said, what would happen if you asked somebody out and they said no? And they all basically said, oh, it would, be terrible. And I said, well, would you judge one of your friends if they asked someone out and they were told no? And they all sort of laughed. And I said, maybe that's where we should start. Maybe we should not judge our peers if they take a risk and it doesn't work out. Thing is, your relationships are not supposed to work out when you're in college. You're supposed to try hanging out with a lot of different people. And some of them may be romantic, some of them may not be. Some of them may be quite intense. Some of them may be just fun. this is the age where you're developing your identity by spending time with people and learning what you want out of life. And so waiting for perfection, and that's really what these guys said to me yesterday. They said, it feels like we have to have our, I don't want to curse again, I got yelled at earlier on a post, feels like we have to have everything together before we can enter into a relationship. And I reject that idea. You don't need to have everything together to be in a relationship. You can grow together, you can figure it out together. And so anyway, curious what everyone thinks. I don't think I'm going to solve the dating problem in college, but I did find it worth sharing those conversations.
Somebody in the comments said, I cannot think of a single man that would dislike a woman initiating a conversation, especially one where she asked him out. Another person says, the trouble is women don't know if guys like us, so fear of rejection is real. That's why we want them to ask us. Okay. I think that's actually a woman that said that. Let me make sure that's a woman that said that. Yep. Yeah. Okay. That was a woman that said that. And the guy said, I'm curious to know if you're able to recognize the irony in that statement. She probably not, because they don't pay attention to that type of stuff. Another woman says, 35-year relationship. My husband definitely did not have himself together when we met. He was just so interesting and kind in my mind. I actually was older than he was. We were young and excited to grow together. Being imperfect and supporting each other in life, in life brings love that lasts. Thank you for bringing up this subject for young people. Exactly. Like I said, y'all are worried about the wrong things. Y'all are worried about getting a man that looks perfect on paper. A man that does all of the things that you want him to do, how you want him to do it, when you want him to do it. All of the things, all of those are great, but those things take time. Sure, they're the surface level things. Like, oh, he brought me flowers, but that doesn't really mean anything. When he starts to understand and know who you are and you treat him right, maybe make a sandwich here and there. Maybe throw some chicken tenders in the oven with some fries. Throw a little ketchup. Popeye. I mean, my God. Living, man, in this day and age, bro. Back in the day, you had to work for it. You had to roll your sleeves up and be a wife. But today, when a man asks you to cook and clean, my God, with the money that you got, and the sales that be going on, you can get a vacuum that mops and sweeps. Run that thing. The house is mopped and swept. You got the money. Hire somebody maybe once a month to do a deep clean. It ain't gonna be that expensive. The house is clean. My God. The man want fries and some chicken tenders. I mean, shoot. Sam's Club has ready-made mashed potatoes. They got salad. They got bell peppers. They got sushi, stuffed bell peppers. They got sushi. They got chicken tenders that are already breaded and they taste great. You can go to Sam's Club or I don't know if you guys got Kroger. We got Kroger down here, right? But it's probably, I don't know, Murray's or something like that where you are, depending on where you are. You can go there. You can get chicken nuggets. You can get the sister, I can't remember how to say her name. The rolls, Chick-fil-A sauce, Chick-fil-A ranch, avocado ranch. It's all there. You can get the Popeyes blackened ranch and make it at the house. Arby's has the curly fries. I've done that. Well, I've made, just put the fries on a thing, maybe 30, whatever it says on the package. Cheese, bacon bits, ranch. The effort is low. And that's all. The man will eat on that for hours. He can eat on that for hours. That can be dinner for him. And you don't even want to do that. You could put those things in the air fryer. Nowadays, ovens heat up so fast. My oven, it takes probably like a minute or two to get to 350. I'm like, what? I go to sit down, probably it takes probably like 2 or 3 minutes, but the point is, I go to sit down, that thing's already preheated. Oh shoot. Technology has come so far to where the stuff that you say you don't want to do for the man, you can do it while the man is still going out there and doing for you. Unless the man is putting his hands on you, he's manipulating you, he's actually being a freaking narcissist. Like she just said, imperfections, we grew through it, we grew together. We love each other more now than we did because we saw each other change. We changed for each other, we adapted for each other. Whatever the road ahead said to do, we looked at each other and said, how are we going to do this? And we did it. Was it hard? Yes. Was it frustrating? Yes. Did we feel at some point in time we wanted to quit? Absolutely. But kept on going, no, this is my person. We're going to keep on doing it. Modern women today, they don't want to put any effort. And you're seeing it start even before the relationship has a chance to take off. I don't want to approach no man. I'm not going to do that. That's not the feminine thing to do. I don't want to engage in conversation. He needs to lead a conversation because that's the gentleman, manly, masculine thing to do. I don't want to pump my own gas. I don't want to pay no bills. That's a masculine thing. I don't want to cook no dinner. It's 2025. Men know how to do that. No yard work. No trash being taken out. No cutting down the boxes. I don't want to do none of that. That's what a man is supposed to be doing. Why? Why would a man want to be around a woman that doesn't want to do anything? Doesn't want to put forth effort? A woman that doesn't appreciate his, or I don't even want to say appreciate, but can't stand his imperfections, but he has to love hers. Love me in spite of everything.